Hello there, I'm Nadia Azmi and you're watching Nightline, news making the headlines. 570 candidates vies for 245 state seats. And Prime Minister wants all parties to campaign in respectful manner. A total of 570 candidates are vying for the 245 seats for grabs in the 6 state elections next month, and none of them have won uncontested. Election Commission EC Chairman Tan Sri Abdul Ghani Saleh said the state polls will see 180 straight fights, 51 three-cornered fights, 13 four-cornered fights and 1 five-cornered fight.
Daripada 573 kertas pendamaan tersebut, 1 kertas pendamaan calon telah ditolak di DUN N09 Kota Lama, Kelantan.
Speaking at a press conference in Putrajaya on the nomination process on Saturday, Tan Sri Abdul Ghani said the Kuala Terengganu parliamentary by-election, which will be held simultaneously with the state polls, will also see a straight fight between Pakatan Harapan and PAS. Of the total number of candidates in the 6 state polls and by-election, which comprises 501 men and 71 women, 137 are from PH, 108 are from Barisan Nasional, 168 from Perikatan Nasional, and 77 are from PAS. Other parties fielding candidates include Malaysian United Democratic Alliance or MUDA with 19 and Parti Sosialis Malaysia PSM with 4, while 41 are independent candidates. The EC has set early voting for the state polls and parliamentary by-election on August 8th, while polling is on August 12th. Nearly 9.77 million voters are eligible to vote in the 6 state elections.
Seterusnya, dipersilakan yang berbahagia Tan Sri.
We are in touch with political analyst Dr. Azmi Hassan. Hello there, Dr. Azmi. Now, no candidates have won uncontested, and it was a similar situation in the 15th general election where there were no seats uncontested. So now what do you make of this, Dr. Azmi?
Thank you, Nadia. For a simple reason, because this time around it is Pakatan Harapan versus Perikatan Nasional or Barisan Nasional versus Perikatan Nasional. So I'm sure these 3 big coalition have their candidates. I think that's the main reason why the menang tanpa bertanding exists. But another important thing is that for the last few years, the Election Commission has introduced the process to make it easier so that disqualification during nomination day can be eliminated. So usually when the menang tanpa bertanding exists, it is usually disqualification of the candidates during nomination day. So I guess we have to thank the Election Commission who has introduced a simpler, smoother process during nomination day so that simple mistakes can be eliminated, so that disqualification can be eliminated.
Dr. Azmi, as this is the first time the nation is seeing a large-scale state elections, it's like a semi-GE, as half of the nation goes to the polls next month. However, this is not a GE. So how do you think the people, or rather voters in those 6 states, will decide at the ballot box?
Yes, I'm pretty sure when the voters go to the polling booth on August 8 and also August 12, the first thing that crop up in their mind is that the forming of the state government, or who is the Menteri Besar, or who is the Chief Minister. That is what state election is all about. But we have to bear in mind, the voters have to bear in mind, any decision that they made also will implicate the referendum. As I see it, is a referendum for the federal unity government. So I guess it's very critical that when the voters go making their decision at the poll booth, not only thinking about the future state government comes August 12 or August 13, but the future and the stability of the federal government, or more precisely, the unity government. So this is a two-in-one decision. So I guess this particular responsibility is a big, I would say, heavy responsibility to the voters of these 6 states that comprise half of the total voters nationally.
All right, thank you, Dr. Azmi, for your inputs. Now, meanwhile, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim on Saturday advised all parties contesting the 6 state polls and the Kuala Terengganu parliamentary by-election to campaign in a respectful manner.
Saya tengok proses baik, aman, teratur dan calon-calon kemukakan dengan baik, dan insya-Allah kita adakan kempen secara yang tersusun dan sopan dan beradab. Dan saya ucap terima kasih juga kerana kehadiran Premier Abang Ju dan juga Ketua Menteri Haji untuk memberikan sokongan selain daripada Barisan Nasional.
Datuk Seri Anwar said this after having breakfast at a restaurant in Ampang Jaya on Saturday. He also said he was satisfied with the nomination process for the state elections in Selangor, Negeri Sembilan, Pulau Pinang, Kedah, Kelantan and Terengganu. Now for some updates on the state elections, let's go to our correspondent Kumaran Rajamani in Alostar, Kedah. Kumaran, it is said that PH and BN have a good chance in Kedah. What are you hearing from the ground?
Yes, Nadia, PH and BN are seen capable of providing competition to PN. Despite the narrative that the government led by Datuk Seri Muhammad Sanusi is perceived to lean towards maintaining its leadership here in Kedah. This follows several revelations brought forward by the PHBN leadership, especially regarding the issue of theft of the rare earth element in the state. And this raises questions about the state government's administrative competence. Some say that these sentiments may influence fence-sitting voters in making their choices, and if this group becomes decisive in the state election, it is possible for PH and BN to deny PN from forming the state government.
And Kumaran, Kedah seems to be dominated by straight fights. So what are the interesting seats to look out for?
Well, the focus will naturally be on the political leaders here in the state. And Datuk Seri Mahathir Khalid, who is the chairman of Kedah BN, will attempt to reclaim the Pedu seat that he once held in the past. Other than that, we also have Kedah PH Chairman Datuk Mahfuz Omar, who will be trying his luck in Alor Mengkudu, competing against Radi Madin. For information, both had contested in the 14th general election for the Pokok Sena parliamentary seat, and Mahfuz won the seat back then. And in addition to the contest involving the political figures here, the attention also gone by a few other candidates, namely a former Vice Chancellor of University Utara Malaysia, who is contesting in Jitra seat. And in Gurun, we have a former national football player, Badro Bakria, who is running for the state seat. Nadia, interestingly, this election showcases a significant number of female candidates from PH and BN coalition particularly. Nadia?
Thank you, Kumaran. Now, let's go to Seberang Perai, Pulau Pinang for more election updates with our correspondent Selvam Arjunan. Now, Selvam, nominations took place earlier in the morning. So what is the general feeling of the people or the voters in the state, as this is the first time that state elections are being held on such a large scale?
Thank you, Nadia. I've been traveling around Pulau Pinang since the poll started, and I had the opportunity to talk to many people from all walks of life. For them, this is definitely a new experience, as the state election is being held separately with parliamentary elections, unlike in the past. A few voters also said to me that they will look back at the performance of the united government in the last 8 months before making their decision, while some said they will vote based on how the Pakatan Harapan-led government had ruled the state in the past 5 years. And some observers also believe that the united government has both a positive and a negative impact on the voters' decision based on the hopes and expectation that the people have on them. Meanwhile, in PN, PAS and Gerakan are said to be having a cold war after the Bayan Lepas seat was given to Gerakan President Dato Dr. Dominic Lau. Political observers said it was evident during the nomination process that PAS had boycotted the march to the nomination centre, as only Gerakan members had accompanied Dato Lau, while PAS members were nowhere to be seen. Certainly, we will be watching the situation closely as we approach the ballot box on August 12th. And that's all from me in Pulau Pinang. Over to Sri Pentas, Nadia.
All right, thank you, Selvan, for the updates. And to ensure democracy is not abused on the basis of freedom of speech during campaign period, here is the advice from Communications and Digital Minister Fahmi Fazil.
Cuma saya harapkan semua sentiasa berwaspada supaya tidak menyentuh isu 3R, tidak menyentuh menyakiti hati kawan-kawan, sebab kita raihkan demokrasi, kita nak bertanding secara sihat.
The minister spoke to the media at the nomination centre at Sekolah Menengah Kebangsaan SMK Sungai Pusu in Gombak. He said all campaign activities during the state elections through the social media will be monitored. Fahmi added that his ministry, however, is not preventing any media from organising discourse or debate between political leaders. Police have received a report in connection with the hurling stones at the PAS headquarters in Jalan Raja Laut, causing the glass wall to break. In confirming this, Inspector General of Police Tan Sri Razaruddin Hussein said the incident occurred at 5:30 a.m. on Saturday and police are tracking down the suspect with the help of the Kuala Lumpur City Hall.
Semakan CCTV akan dilakukan dan juga bantuan daripada CCTV di BKL juga kita akan minta bantuan. Kesalahan dijeniskan di bawah Seksyen 427 lah, khianat. So buat masa ni suspek belum diketahui pasti dan insya-Allah pihak KL dalam masa terdekat saya rasa akan menjurus kepada suspek yang kita kendaki insya-Allah.
Speaking to the media in Bukit Aman on Saturday, Tan Sri Razaruddin added that the suspect, who was riding a motorcycle, had made some noise before hurling the stones at the glass wall of the building. It was understood that guards on duty in the building have witnessed the incident. PAS had lodged a police report on the incident a few hours before the nomination process for the 6th state elections began. Coming up after this breather, market explosion claims 9 lives in Thailand. Don't go away. Foreign front. In southern Thailand, at least 9 people were killed and dozens others were injured on Saturday after a fireworks store in a market exploded. Authorities said the explosion at the Mundok market happened at about 2:30 p.m. local time, causing serious injuries to 14 people who have been warded at the Sungai Golok hospital. The explosion also caused many wooden houses around the market to be damaged. Although the Mundok market is on the Thailand side of the border, it is very close to the Malaysian side, as it is directly opposite Kampung Bukit Lata in Rantau Panjang, Kelantan. However, no Malaysians were reportedly involved in the incident, as the dead and injured are all Thais. 5 people were wounded in a late Friday shooting in the United States that saw dozens and dozens of bullets fired during a community outreach event. According to the authorities, the shooting started just before 8 p.m. local time when the victims were attending a pop-up in Seattle's Rainier Beach neighborhood that works to help people by providing food and services. One man was in critical condition, while 2 others and a woman were being treated for injuries that were not considered life-threatening. The 5th victim, in his 30s, was treated at the shooting scene. It was not immediately known if the victims were targeted or what unfolded before the shots were fired, as police are currently searching for at least 2 suspects. Former U.S. President Donald Trump, who has pledged to pursue his White House bid if convicted and sentenced in one of the cases engulfing his comeback bid on Friday, shared a stage with his Republican rivals for the first time in Iowa. Trump, who has all year relentlessly attacked Ron DeSantis, his nearest rival for the Republican nomination, told a crowd of Iowa Republicans not to take a chance on the Florida governor. His remarks came as DeSantis was seen as a major threat to Trump at the beginning of the year, but his campaign has been flagging in recent weeks. DeSantis, however, declined to go after Trump at the Republican Lincoln Day dinner at Des Moines, where the 2 men and 11 other Republican White House hopefuls were given 10 minutes each in front of 1,200 attendees. Trump's appearance at the party's Lincoln Dinner fundraiser came as he faced new charges over his handling of classified government documents and a possible fresh indictment over his alleged efforts to overturn the result of the 2020 election. In China, Typhoon Doksuri has caused widespread flooding and landslides in the southeastern province of Fujian after making landfall on Friday. Following this, over 724,600 people in 84 Fujian counties have been affected, with 124,400 residents evacuated. According to the National Meteorological Center, the cyclone will bring extreme rainfall to Beijing and its neighboring provinces, affecting 130 million people. It was also said that the intensity of rainfall in northern China from Saturday to Tuesday could reach or exceed a 2012 downpour in Beijing that killed 79 people. Thus, officials on Saturday renewed an orange alert for rainstorms, the second highest alert in China's four-tier weather warning system. When Doksuri hit the city of Jinjiang at 9:55 a.m. local time on Friday, the maximum sustained wind near the center was about 50 meters per second. It was even stronger than Typhoon Meranti in 2016, which recorded winds of up to 48 meters per second near its center at landfall and killed at least 11 people. On to sports football, the 2023 Super League. 3 more matches took place on Saturday night. Kelantan FC suffered another humiliating defeat, this time 5-1 to Kuala Lumpur City FC, while Kedah Darul Aman FC recorded a narrow 1-0 victory over Kuching City FC. At the Sultan Ibrahim Stadium, Johor Darul Takzim JDT FC continued their winning ways when they beat Selangor FC 2-0. After a scoreless first half, new signing Heberty Fernandez converted from the spot in the 79th minute to give the Southern Tigers a 1-0 lead against the Lions. Brazilian Bergson de Silva then sealed the win for JDT when he scored from the penalty spot 3 minutes into stoppage time. The win saw the Southern Tigers extending their unbeaten run with 18 straight wins and 54 points, 14 more than second place Selangor. Now turning to tennis, the 2023 Hamburg European Open. German Alexander Zverev won against Frenchman Luca Van Assche in straight sets to advance to the last 4. The number 4 seed comfortably fought off the 19-year-old 6-3, 6-4 after 1 hour and 29 minutes. With the win, the only remaining German in the tournament will face another Frenchman, Arthur Fils, next. Earlier, 19-year-old Fils defeated the tournament's top seed Casper Ruud, Lev 6 and 4-6. Fils delivered a stunning display victory against the world number 4 at the clay court ATP 500 in 1 hour and 17 minutes. The signature victory was the 19-year-old's first against a top 20 opponent, with the Frenchman now needing a win over world number 19 Zverev to reach only his second tour final against either Laszlo Djere or Zhang Jizhen. Body of missing man found in crashed vehicle. The details after the short break. In Johor, a 42-year-old man who had been missing for 2 days was found dead in a crashed vehicle in Kota Tinggi. The man's family had reported him missing when he failed to return home. Kota Tinggi District Police Chief Superintendent Hussein Zamora said initial investigation suggested that the man might have fallen asleep while driving towards Pungai, leading to the accident. According to him, members of the public found the body after spotting the crashed vehicle about 40 meters away from the road. He also said that there were no signs of foul play at the scene. The case is being investigated under the Road Transport Act 1987. Prasarana Malaysia Berhad is working with the police to track down a man who attacked a female passenger at the Maluri LRT station on Friday. The suspect, who is believed to be mentally unstable, also trespassed on the LRT track in the 7:58 a.m. incident, which was caught on camera. Teras Police Chief ACP Zam Halim Jamaluddin, in a statement on Saturday, confirmed that police had received a report regarding the incident from the 27-year-old woman on Friday. He said authorities were working to locate the man, adding that an investigation paper has been opened under the Penal Code. He also said that the suspect was believed to have trespassed on the LRT track by crossing from Platform 1 to Platform 2, where the woman was waiting for a train. Video clips of the incident, which went viral on social media, showed the suspect pouncing on the woman and held her on the floor of the station. Commuters who saw the incident rushed to help and managed to free the victim from the suspect. However, they failed to apprehend him because he was very aggressive. The man then returned to the platform shortly after and again trespassed on the LRT track before knocking on the side of an LRT train which had stopped at the station, and then fled the scene at about 8:05 a.m. In a heartwarming tribute to love, a local farmer decided to sow a different kind of crop this season, a vast expanse of sunflowers stretching as far as the eye can see. The sunflower field has become a magnet, attracting visitors from all corners of Kansas who come to witness the state flower in full bloom and capture picturesque moments amidst the golden sea of sunflowers. Let's take a look as we wrap up Nightline this time around. With that, I'm Nadia Azmi. Thank you for watching and stay safe.